Belize is taking another step forward, strengthening the way children are treated within the justice system. Today, the National Commissions for Families and Children, in partnership with UNICEF and the Ministry of Human Development, Family Support, and Gender Affairs, brought together key stakeholders for a child justice guideline validation session at the Best Western Biltmore Plaza in Belize City. The consultation is aimed at reviewing a set of national guidelines that will help ensure children who come into contact with the justice system are treated fairly, consistently, and with their best interests at heart. The session brought together representatives from the judiciary, law enforcement, social services, government ministries, and partner organizations to examine the proposed framework before it is finalized. According to NCFC's Executive Director Shakira Sutherland, today's validation exercise marks a significant step forward, creating a more coordinated and child centered justice system for Belize.
So today we are gathered here to talk about the final discussion, the final information in regards to the draft child justice guidelines. And so it is important to know that we have stakeholders from the ministries, civil society, international partners such as UNICEF, we have the Office of the Special Envoy, we have our parents, we have our youth, we have our children. They would need to do one final validation of this draft child justice guideline. And it is important to know that because there is a merger between the child protection and the child justice committees, NCFC, in collaboration with our Ministry of Human Development and UNICEF, we're working together to ensure that documentations for child protection, child justice are being updated and are created. And so it is important to know that we have to ensure that we protect our children.
The draft guideline covers several key areas, including the country's legal framework, integrity coordination, procedures for children in contact or in conflict with the law, and systems for monitoring and enforcement. Attorney at law Diana Shaw, who served as the consultant leading the drafting process, says the guidelines were developed to provide clear direction for every agency involved in child justice matters
Of committing offenses who are interacting with the justice system from a different approach. And normally the approach that those children receive have not always been protective of their rights. So we are merging the child protection and the child justice system as a reminder to all stakeholders that all children are deserving of protections. Even children who are accused of offenses have rights that are protected by the laws, by the Convention on the Rights of the Child, which is a part of the laws of Belize. And so this establishes that foundation. But we are also wanting to ensure that where children have done wrong things, that there is proper accountability and that the approach from the justice system is graduated depending on the seriousness of the offense, but also recognizing that the child has the capacity to be rehabilitated, that there's an assessment that is needed in terms of the needs of the child, and that very often children who commit offenses are coming from backgrounds where they have experienced trauma, where there may be lack of proper support in their home and in their community, and helping to build those things around the child while also ensuring accountability will ensure that we have a lower risk of the child recommitting an offense in the future.
Once adopted, the child justice guidelines are expected to establish a standardized approach for agencies working with children, improving coordination while safeguarding the rights and welfare of young people throughout the legal proceedings. Supporting that effort is UNICEF Belize, which has partnered with the NCFC throughout the process. UNICEF representative Shajid Ali says the organization remains committed to helping Belize strengthen its child protection system and ensure that every child has access to justice that is fair, inclusive, and focused on their well being.
The importance is that we need to make sure that everybody knows what their role is, whether it's authorities, whether it's civil society, whether it's the organizations, and whether it's parents and children and everybody who's involved in this. So we don't want to have guidelines which is not very clear and it's just another document, but the actual implementation and what the challenges are and what opportunities are for children in Belize. Yeah. Well, it's to make sure that children are, when they are faced with the justice system, that they know what their options are and how they can be protected. And again, punishment is a last resort. We have to make sure that there's measures like diversion and there's measures of recorrection, and also that parents also know their role in this, and the different authorities, when they come in contact with children, what their role is. So it's all about protecting children, because children at the end of the day for us are innocent. They don't know a lot of the situations they fall into. They could be part of it. They could be witness to it of I would say, violence and crime. So we need to make sure that children are protected. And if there's need, how those measures can be very, I would say, children sensitive, and to look at more restoration and rehabilitation rather than jump to what we normally jump to is punishment. Yeah.
Following today's validation session, the recommendations and feedback from stakeholders will be incorporated into the final document before the Child Justice Guidelines are officially adopted. Organizations say the framework will help strengthen collaboration among agencies while ensuring that the rights and best interests of children remain at the center of Belize's justice system. Zayna Augustine reporting for Love FM.